Hi, my name's Peter Googe, Product Manager with Kuhn Krause, and today I'd just like to take a couple of minutes to talk about the lift assist system that we have for our three-point mounted Gladiator. One of the things that's really unique about the lift assist on this Gladiator is that we tie the hydraulics for the lift assist into the three-point linkage of the tractor rather than operating it off its own specific tractor remote or SCV valve. What this means is for the operator that when you're running the machine in the field and you come to pick the toolbar up, you only have to use the three-point linkage control for the tractor to lift the toolbar and deploy the lift assist simultaneously. You don't have to try and operate the three-point linkage control and an SCV lever at the same time to make everything work. One of the other big advantages of the way we have this set up is that when you're in transport, you keep the top link for the tractor connected to the toolbar at all times. You don't have to disconnect it for transport and then reconnect it for work. We get the articulation from the lift assist itself, and when you're in transport and you're coming over undulations, there is a pressure relief valve in the hydraulic circuit that allows the lift assist to move and to retract the cylinder slightly, and then because you're connected into the three-point, it repressures after that articulation's been made. It's very important that the hydraulic system for the lift assist is connected into the tractor three-point as intended. If a person connects it up to the tractor remote, then when that pressure relief valve relieves and the lift assist raises to allow you to go over those undulations in transport, it won't automatically repressure and pick everything back up again. So over a period of time, that toolbar is going to get lower and lower, and it's then the onus is on the operator to remember to push that lift assist back down and pick everything up. The only way that Kuhn condone having the lift assist connected is through the tractor three-point linkage. So I mentioned the pressure relief valve there, and there is an adjustment to make here when everything's brand new. We want to make sure that we have that pressure relief valve set so that it's tripping just above the maximum pressure required to pick the toolbar up off the ground. The pressure relief valve comes factory set at 1500 psi. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the machine lowered down to the ground, sitting on its jack stands, and we're going to try and pick it up using the three-point linkage control on the tractor. If the toolbar will not raise at all, then we have far too light of a pressure set on the pressure relief valve. It's going to need to be screwed in until the three-point linkage can lift and the lift assist can lift the toolbar. As soon as you got to the point where the toolbar can raise it all the way up and watch the pressure gauge and make a note of the maximum pressure required to lift that toolbar to transport height. If it is 1500 pounds or less, then no problem. We can move on to adjusting the caster angle, which we'll talk about here in a second. If it requires more than 1500 pounds, so the pressure gauge is registering more than 1500 pounds as it lifts up, we're going to need to make an adjustment on that pressure relief valve. To adjust the pressure relief valve, we're going to disconnect the pressure line from the lift assist from the three-point and plug it into a tractor remote. This is the only time you're ever going to plug the lift assist pressure line into a tractor remote. Once you've got that plugged in, reduce the flow on that tractor remote down to about 5 gallons a minute, activate the remote. To begin with, just stand clear because it will try and pick the toolbar up. But once everything is stable, you can adjust the pressure relief valve until you see a pressure on the gauge which is 25 to 50 pounds higher than the maximum pressure you were seeing to raise the toolbar. So for example, if while you were raising it initially, you were seeing that pressure gauge rise to 1700 pounds, then you want to adjust the pressure relief valve so that it's set at around 1725, 1750 pounds. You don't want to go higher than that, otherwise it won't trip easily enough. You don't want to go lower than that, otherwise it won't be able to pick the toolbar up. 25 to 50 pounds above the maximum pressure required to lift the toolbar is about where you want to be. Once that's set, you can lock the pressure relief valve off again and then reconnect your hose for your lift assist back to the tractor 3-point. The orange handled hose on the tractor 3-point on the lift assist, like on many other Kuhn machines, connects to the return to tank on the tractor. It wants to be on a low pressure return. Don't plug it into an SCV and try and flow your return oil through the SCV. You don't want to set up high back pressure in the system. It just wants to go on a return to tank line. So with the pressure relief valve correctly set, the next thing we're going to do is set the turnbuckles that adjust the caster angle at the back of the machine. So now we're ready to set the caster angle of the lift assist. The caster angle wants to be set so that this plate here is horizontal or tilted slightly rearwards, a negative caster angle. What this does is make sure that this wheel, when you're going down the road, stays stable. If you start getting this plate tipped forwards, a positive caster angle, it's going to cause that wheel to wobble going down the road, which wears the vertical axle out, the bearings in here out more quickly. So we're going to set this so that the plate is horizontal, and we're using a level here to check that, or it can just be tipped slightly to the rear. Usually you want to set this all up so that you're on firm level ground before you start, and the angle itself is going to be adjusted using the turnbuckles, which sit on the underside of the frame below the cylinders towards the front of the lift assist arms. To adjust the angle, you simply undo the lock nut on the turnbuckle and then rotate the turnbuckle to either push the arms backwards to increase the negative angle, or shorten that linkage to increase the positive angle, i.e. tip the arms forwards. Once you've got both sides set, it's always a good idea just to measure the length of the two turnbuckles, the distance between the two pins. Check that it's somewhere the same. Even them up a little bit if necessary, and then you're good to go. You don't have to get them exactly the same length. The design of the rear bar across here does allow those two arms to move independently of each other, so as you're going over uneven terrain, you don't have one side of the lift assist trying to take all the weight. It can lift and flex a little bit, but getting the linkages just very close to being the same length as a starting point is always good practice. For more information on the Kuhn Gladiator or any of the rest of the products in our range, please visit us at kuhn.com.